So welcome everybody. This is the free monthly webinar that we do. This month's webinar is titled Finding Defects in a Home Inspection. Number 3, actually, this is the third Finding Defects webinar that we've had. We've had many others. My name is Ben Gromicko. I'm from InterNACHI. There is my email address if you want to email me any questions about anything, including this webinar. But if you have a question during the webinar, I'll try to get to it. But there's, well, we have almost 200 people now registering, so I won't be able to answer that many questions. But on the right-hand side of your screen, there's a little question area, a little window to type in your questions or comments, so you can feel free to type in anything. You should be able to hear me. You should be able to see me. I cannot see you. I cannot hear you. So we'll get started in just a few minutes. I see a lot of people are logging in. And wow, we have someone from an inspector from Portugal tuning in. So that's awesome. And what we're going to do tonight is perform a home inspection over the webinar, right? So what I did was I was a home inspector for many years in Pennsylvania, and I took a bunch of photographs while I performed this home inspection, not realizing I'd be sharing it with you during a webinar. And this house has several major defects and one material defect. A material defect is something that has a significant adverse impact on the value of the home or poses an unreasonable risk to someone's safety. So we're going to find those defects by following an inspection procedure that I use. And also we'll be referring to the standards of practice, the international standards of practice for performing a residential home inspection. But before we do that, let's go over a few things. InterNACHI has many certification programs that you can take advantage of for free for members. These certifications are of no additional cost to members, and you get these fancy logos that we developed, and there are about 25 different things. So if I were doing inspections and decks were important to me, you're required to inspect decks by the standards of practice, I would take the training and certification course that would allow me to use that logo at the middle right. It says Deck Inspector, InterNACHI Certified Deck Inspector, for example. So we have all of these certifications and required training courses to be certified, and you can get those certification logos and a description of the requirements at nachi.org/logos. And I would say the most important, best logo, the one I really enjoy, would be the Certified Professional Inspector logo. CPI is the abbreviation, and it's a federally registered trademark. It has the R around it. So this is a federally recognized certification, essentially. And if I were you, I would make sure that I was telling my potential clients that I am a certified professional inspector, a CPI. So I would like to do a poll. Do you have your CPI certification logo on your website? Now, obviously, this is for members. This question is for members. If you're not a member, you could say no, I guess, or one of the answers. So select one of the answers. I'll select yes, I have that on my website. And I'll give you about 5 seconds to answer that poll, and I'll share that poll with you. Hurry up, answer the question. Do you have the CPI logo on your website? Because it's so important and it looks really good and it convinces people that you're certified. There's the results. No, A lot of people don't have the CPI logo on their website. So I think it's important. This is an amazing image that immediately convinces most potential site visitors, I would say, that you are certified. It's even better than using the InterNACHI logo. Don't promote the association, promote you, which is the Certified Professional Inspector. So consider getting that, and you can find those logos again back at nachi.org/logos. nachi.org/logos. Okay, we did the poll, and so when I do a home inspection, I bring tall ladders so I can get up on the roof. That exceeds the standards of practice. The minimum standards is to inspect the roof covering roof system from the ground or eaves. And so I take a bunch of pictures when I'm doing my inspection. And the standards of practice, if you haven't read the standards of practice, you should always take a look at them, because the standards are updated every once in a while. And I would refer my clients to the standards of practice inside every inspection report and in my agreement. And it says, the inspector shall inspect from ground level or eaves the roof covering materials, the gutters, the downspouts, vents, flashing, skylights, chimney, and other roof penetrations, and the general structure of the roof from the readily accessible panels, doors, and stairs. That would be kind of like the unfinished attic space. So what I do is I walk around and I take pictures of every plane or field of the roof. The left, the right, the center, turn around, left, right, center. And then I take close-up shots so that I show, and I put these pictures in my report so that I show my client that how close I am looking at the shingles. And I describe the type of shingles. These are 3-tab shingles, about 10, 12 years old. These shingles looks like they had a repair near the ridge. And so these shingles are different from all the rest. But it looks good. And there's a problem. First shingle problem, and it's a crack in the shingle. So that's a defect. It's a functional defect. A crack in the shingle is a functional defect. It doesn't perform like it was intended. A lot of people are still logging in, so congratulations and welcome, and come on in. You're in the right place. We started. So we're on the roof right now, taking a look at the roof, and another cracked shingle. We're looking for defects. I'm not sure if you could see this from the ground using binoculars. I'm not sure if you could see this from the eaves. I know I couldn't. So that's another cracked shingle defect. And moving right along, we're supposed to inspect the roof penetrations, right? All the vent pipes from the drain waste vent system. So that comes up through the roof, and the rubber membrane flashing material is cracked on this house. So the cracked flashing is a defect. So that's a defect. Just following the standards of practice, right? I'm not doing anything crazy or extra. Algae, blue-green algae on the siding and on the shingles. What I'm really doing is inspecting the flashing where the wall meets the roof, right, at that intersection, and there should be step flashing. And so I pull up the shingle just a little bit, just enough to see a step flashing, and there it is. So I confirm that the flashing is installed. And the flashing should be along that wall joint there where the porch roof, the front porch roof, meets the front vinyl siding, aluminum siding. And there's the flashing there. Good shot. The chimney. One of the things that's required to inspect the fireplace is a system and its chimney components. So I take a look at that. I'm always concerned about the top cap, especially when it's metal. Masonry sometimes cracks. This one is a defect for me because not only is it rusted and pitted and weak, but it's actually not crowned. So water puddles and pools every time it rains in the middle of the cap. It doesn't actually shed water. It actually is shaped to pool it. So that's a defect. There's the other side, other corner of the cap. No major buildup of soot or creosote. That's good. It actually looks really clean. And the flashing, the step flashing where the chimney stack meets the roofing shingles, that's good. There's the vents. There we have ridge vents. We have soffit vents. I want to inspect the ventilation. And I think I'm just about done, so I'm going to the gutters now. Inspecting the gutters. There's some granules in the gutters, which is an indication of like a brand new roof will have that, but an older roof that's aging starts to lose the granular surface. The gutters look attached well. Downspout there at the corner. I don't like that a downspout from a main roof, upper main roof, drains onto a lower roof. Gutters, downspouts. So, and that downspout there at the front right corner of the house goes underground and drains out. So here's another poll, because we're done with the roofing system. So identify the defects that were found during the roof inspection. What were the defects? Can you remember them? You can select one or more of the following. I'll give you like 10 seconds. We'll do this very quickly. So what are the defects that we found? Okay, I answered mine. I think I know the answers though. So I'll give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, everyone did the cracked shingle. Nice. Algae, that is not a defect. That's not a functional defect. I would call it maybe a cosmetic problem or a cosmetic defect. Algae like that can be washed off. Although if you want to talk about the algae in the roots going into the shingles, yep, heavy algae covering could be a problem. But on this case, I would not call it a defect on this house. I guess it's very subjective. So we can talk about that later if you'd like. I would really love conversations about that. And we can put it on the message board and have people join in. The cracked membrane around the flashing vent pipes, yep. The rust and corrosion on the chimney cap, yep. The satellite dish, no, that's not a defect. Okay. So we're done with that poll. We have a few more. The exterior, I'm going to move to the exterior. I usually do the roof first and then the exterior. And then by that time, my client comes because I always show up early. So the exterior, according to the standards of practice, you have to inspect the wall covering materials, flashing and trim, all the doors, walkways and driveways, stairs, steps, stoops, stairways and ramps, porches, patios, decks, balconies, and carports, railings, guards, and handrails, eaves, soffits, and fascia, a representative number of windows. That's taking into consideration those windows that are above ground level with beyond reach, and the vegetation, surface drainage, retaining walls, and grading of the property where they may adversely affect the structure due to moisture intrusion. So I'm always thinking of how rainwater falls on the property, on the building and enclosure, on the shell, exterior shell. So rainwater hits the roof, rolls down, goes in the gutters, goes down on downspouts, or hits the siding, and then needs to drain away from the ground, right? We want nice sloping, even if it's slab on grade, right? Some best practices recommend, doesn't even matter if it's slab on grade, you want that rainwater far away from the house. So take it away. That's the surface drainage. So back to here, that's the front right corner of the house. And I simply just start walking around. I always start at the front right corner of the house. And I kind of look left and right. And to the left, I usually move to the right, which is counterclockwise. But to the left, for some reason, this caught my eye. It's a large area of the garden on the left side of the house. To the left of the entry, you could see. And it's flat. And it's filled with vegetation and mulch. And it's up against the siding. There's no way for water to drain away from the house here. The mulch is covering the bottom of the siding. That's not good. for infestation and moisture intrusion. There should be some clearance, right? Even though it's aluminum, behind that aluminum is wood components. So that there, I'm calling it a defect because I know that there is going to be a water problem. It is impossible for water to drain away from the house. Unless I see something else, in my mind, mentally, I'm marking this as a defect. So let's see. You can always go back, right? Let's see if this actually is a defect. And by the way, that's what I usually take into the house. So I bring all my stuff and I put it up against the house near the front door, and that's my ladder that I use to get into the attic space. That's my tool bag with a little level on the side you can see. I have a radon test kit there, a tamper-proof resistant cage there. I've got my gloves and a bunch of other tools that I have there, and I just bring it up there. So it's a good idea. I love those bags. You can get them at Home Depot. So I start to walk around because this is the exterior system, and I want to see everything on the exterior that I'm supposed to inspect. It's basically identifying the type of exterior covering materials. So that's a foundation. That's masonry with a stucco parging. That's the deck there, that diagonal part. That caught my eye. Initially, just real quick, I don't like it at all. It's not built conventionally. Aluminum siding. Up front left corner, missing some capping there. That's a defect. Exposed wood. No one's repaired it. Looks like wood rot, water penetration. The corners where dissimilar exterior materials meet, I always take a look at that. There's a pond in the back. That is a concern if my client has children. Even if they don't have children, sometimes my client are grandparents and they have grandchildren coming over. Anything that is deeper than an inch of water without a fence around it, I point it out as a safety concern, as a potential safety concern. Windows, I'm looking at representative windows that I can reach. That's the back of the wall. The masonry is absorbing moisture and cracking and slightly ghosting along the mortar joints. That's no big deal. There's the chimney, a little bit of moisture stuff. And this is the right side of the front porch. It's about a 2-foot drop, and there's no handrail or guardrail or railing or step. So I call that a safety defect. That is, I would say, a subjective call. A lot of inspectors measure the 24-inch minimum or 30-inch minimum, some best practices or standards say. But I know I would hurt my foot or leg or ankle on a 12-inch drop. So anything for me above 12 inches is a defect, a safety defect. Inspecting the driveway. It's an old driveway, old property, older house. The asphalt material could be sealed up. This could be patched up. Not that bad. I'm not really going to call it out, but this is what I look at, the parking area where the curb is. That could be attended to. It's old asphalt material. The light fixtures around the house, I will inspect them. I probably won't be able to turn them on because some of them are on timers and motion sensors and light nighttime timers. But this one has some wiring coming out of the light fixture, which is a problem. It's powering these lights up here, and they just screwed it into the corner of the siding there. And the light bulbs are even missing. So that is a defect. Loose electrical wires, improperly installed. Gable vents, that's a defect. Looks like a baseball went through there a couple times. There's a front step to the front stoop, the front porch. It's bigger than normal, standard. So that's a defect. Somebody could hurt themselves on that, especially if my client has some challenges with stairs. There's the front there. It's kind of a beat up house now. I think Maybe not a lot of things were maintained. There's a defect. There's a hole in the siding. That's a little worn. That front entry there, the patio settled, kind of a bigger step. Paint needs to be touched up. The downspouts, a little bit weathered paint there. There's the exterior water meter. And there's the deck. So I'm back to the deck, and I really don't like this deck. It's not built to any standard that I'm aware of. It has essentially 6 bolts. The whole deck is held up with 6 bolts. Here's 3 of them on the left side when looking at the house, 3 on the right. The shear of the half-inch bolt, if it's just a couple hundred pounds, that's not going enough to hold up a large party of people. And it's not cantilevered very well either. There's too much of a cantilever. That's 4-foot cantilever over that beam of the deck. It's bolted coming down, and then the end of that diagonal board sits. It's not bolted or attached. It just sits on some type of ledger. So I'm looking at all the components of the deck. There's a bolt here and there, no nails, and there's the ledger there. I've never seen anything like this. So now it's essentially everything is resting on those 2 bottom bolts, right? There's if you think about it, if I just took away those 2 bolts, the whole deck collapses. So there's nothing else holding it up except those 2 bolts. And if you had a party like this, there's a bunch of college kids, but if you had 10, 15 people on that deck, 2 bolts won't hold up all those people. It's going to collapse. It poses an unreasonable risk. The outer board, there are no metal joist hangers, so the joist ends are not attached very well. There's a bit of a space behind the ledger board now. I'm looking up. This is the space behind the ledger board. The ledger board itself is not secured to the house at all very well, with a couple bolts. Here and there, a couple bolts. So I go up on the deck, and I wiggle the railings. They're loose, left and right. The spacing between the spindles is too big. The deck boards are weathered. Bit of a splinter problem. But what I'm really concerned about is the flashing, where the deck meets the house. That's the ledger flashing, and there is none. So there is no flashing at all. I could poke my screwdriver through that space and touch wooden components of the house. So this deck is not safe. If you wanted to know a little bit more about ledger flashing, if you wanted to use illustrations in your report about ledger flashings, go to nachi.org/gallery. And there you will find thousands. Let's see if I can show this a little bit better. There we go. Thousands of illustrations that every member can freely use in their inspection reports and blogs and articles and things like that. Just taking a look at some of the comments here. Mike asks, do you write your inspection reports on site? Yep, I use a software that allows me to be mobile, and I write my inspection report as I inspect, and I actually break it down into systems. So I actually don't allow myself to leave the roof system, because I'm usually standing on the roof, which exceeds the standards of practice, I understand. But I don't leave a system without finishing writing the report on my mobile device. And that allows me to quickly print out a summary or something, a quick report, as fast as I can to my client. I don't need to dwell on my home inspection reports at night away from my family. I am able to, with the training that I have through InterNACHI courses, write on site as I go. And I really recommend doing that. All right. So Back to this. This is a material defect. A material defect, again, is defined in the standards of practice. Take a look at the standards of practice and review what a material defect is. Poll number 3. Have you taken InterNACHI's free online course on how to inspect decks? Yes, I have. You answer it and hit your submit button, and we'll give it a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Poll is closed. Share the results. Nice. A lot of people have taken how to inspect decks. A little bit over half. I would love it a lot more. I would love it. A huge majority of you have taken the course. You have a lot of people have said no, but I plan on taking it. That's awesome. A few of you didn't realize that we have a deck course, and it's an awesome online course. We actually have 2 deck courses. One has illustrations and one is mainly video. So that's cool. All right. So I saw some electrical wiring underneath this deck. It is not properly wired. No ground faults. There's wires hanging out. The box is not weather tight. Nothing's proper here. So that's a defect. There's the heat pump system. Looks like an air conditioner, obviously. York. I take a picture of the manufacturing label. That tells me a lot about the system, particularly the serial number and the age and the size of the unit. There's a refrigerant line. I want the large suction line, insulated. The thinner line is called the liquid line. There's the condensate discharge tube. Sometimes it's right next to the unit itself, as is this one. Just taking some shots of how the line goes into the house. Some missing insulation on that shot. That is a bit of a bend there, 90-degree bend. Somewhat of a concern. But it was actually a 90-degree fitting, so I let it go. It wasn't a bend in the pipe. There's the electrical shutoff switch for the heat pump. Some exposed wood at the basement door. That's not a good thing. That's where that deck is. Bathroom exhaust vent. That looks like 2 bathroom exhaust vents from the 2nd floor. There's the exterior. I'm still on the exterior, but systems overlap. So here's the electric meter, which is a component of the electrical system. It has settled. The ground around the house is settled, pulled on the conduit or raceway pipe conduit, and pulled the meter off the house. They attached it with some metal straps and some bolts, which is just ridiculous. It really is. What we need is an electrician here, and also the utility company. And since the meter has pulled off the house, it has detached, and now there's water penetration in the siding. It's been like this for years. That is wet plywood, delaminated, just a mess. So we need somebody to attend to this, and this is a defect. There's the service line going into the house, into the panel board. I take a look at the grounding and the wiring and the phone, anything that I can get on the outside there. But that was the grounding wire there. The garage is next door to the electric meter that was falling off the house. I take a picture. Picture's worth 1,000 words. This picture tells my client that I can't see everything. Obviously, this is a visual inspection, and I'm not moving all this stuff just to see around. This is an inspection restriction, all this storage stuff. I'm glad the homeowner cleared my way to get the electrical panel. So I take pictures of all these restrictions, and I show intention to look for things such as structural problems or termite, wood infestation, wood rot. My flashlight shining into something difficult to see. So I can demonstrate that I'm trying to do my best to see everything. I don't just write it off as a disclaimer. I can't see anything. I really try to look around, and I take pictures of just about anything that I can. Digital pictures are free, and they are fantastic to have when you need them and share them with your clients. I didn't find any structural problems. Looks like the bottom plate was strapped down pretty well to the foundation. Looks good. The drywall joints were hit twice. Looks good. The seams are all sealed up. There's a firewall break. So we can't have anything like this in the garage where there's a wooden opening. This is a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, Luan, that they put for access to the unfinished attic space above the garage. The problem is this has to be a fire rated wall system, ceiling system, and a fire can easily blow through this and get to the house structure or roof structure. So this is a problem. So the garage shall be separated from the residence and its attic area by not less than 1/2 inch gypsum board applied to the garage side. Now, check with your local authority because it could be a lot different. Like a lot of new homes double that. So there's 2 sheets of 1/2 inch. So that's a defect. There's a watermark. While I was looking around for firewall breaks, there's a watermark coming from that area in the ceiling of the garage. And it's coming from a roof leak. So the roof is leaking somewhere. I found two cracked shingles, but it wasn't in the area where this roof leak is coming from on the garage roof. So this is a defect. Just taking a look around. I didn't crawl in. There was no flooring. Didn't feel it was safe, so I just took a peek. Came back out and I saw this. The electrical light in the garage has a wire sticking out of it. It goes to a lamp that's on a shelf. So this is an improperly wired light fixture. That's a defect. I test the ground faults. This is a GFCI tester you can get at a hardware store, and it's an open ground for a 3-prong receptacle in the garage. So we don't want an open ground, a loose ground connection. So that's something we should attend to. And then the refrigerator is on the ground fault in the garage. I tend to trip those and forget to reset them and then pay for everything that's in the refrigerator. You do that once or twice and you remember, and then you write a narrative about having refrigerators plugged into ground faults. The refrigerator in a garage is typically plugged into a dedicated line, so you can't plug anything else into it. And it never turns off on a ground fault. There's some kind of strap opening up the fire door to the in between the garage and the house. Not sure why, but openings between the garage and the residence shall be equipped with solid wood doors, and they have to be thick, 1 3/8 inch thick, solid or honeycomb core steel doors, or 20-minute fire rated doors. And check with your local authority about all of that as well. And I like to see that step up from the garage into the living. No garage door opener. It's a manually operated door. So I opened and closed it, took a look at the inside and the outside to make sure it locks and unlocks. Looking for wood rot at the joints. There was some patching there. And then I go to the electrical panel. Now the standards of practice lists all the components that you need to inspect. So I would use the standards of practice essentially as a checklist within your software, or an actual checklist, a pencil and paper checklist, and use it to not miss anything. If you follow the standards of practice, we're not going far beyond the standards of practice in this inspection, and we're finding all these defects. So in the electrical standards of practice, in the electrical system, you are to inspect the service drop. That's coming from the telephone pole. Overhead service conductors, those are the lines that hang. An attachment point, how it attaches to the house. The service head, the gooseneck, is that fitting there. Or in the drip loops, make sure it drips so water doesn't go down. In the service mast, which is that mast that comes sometimes up through the roof if the lines connect above the roof. The service conduit, that's that pipe through which the lines come down into the meter, or raceway, underground raceway that comes up into the meter from the ground. Electric meter and base. Service entrance conductors from the meter into the panel. Main disconnect. The panel boards and overprotection devices. Service grounding and bonding. Switches and other devices. Ground fault receptacles, AFCIs, and smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. That's what you're supposed to inspect. in the electrical system. So I identify that it's 200 amps. I take a picture of my fingers touching the main disconnect. There it is. And it's 200 amps. That's what the 2 is for. A little trick I do. I take a picture of the breakers and identify for myself which breakers are on and off. Just because sometimes I trip a breaker by mistake, and I want to make sure that I reset it to where it was originally. So originally, all of the breakers are on, right? The labeling is a problem because each individual breaker is supposed to be specifically identified for its function and room. So they are not. Take a look in the inside. I'm looking for rust and water, over fusing, double tapping, bonding, dryer vent. Not sure why this picture is here in this order, but the dryer vent was a problem because it's blowing into the siding. So if you stick your camera inside the vent, you can take a look to see if it's clear. If it's not, you get this, which is lint all over the place, blowing out the side of the hood. And this was the second vent pipe, because I think the first one was patched up to the left. So they had the problem with the vent pipe original one, and they installed a new one, and they still have it messed up. So I don't even like these louvers. They get in the way and they clog things. So I like the hoods. Test the ground fault receptacles. There's the screen door on the deck. That's a cosmetic defect. That's the term I use. There's the laundry coming from the vent pipe backwards into the laundry area. The washer and dryer are there. The electric dryer is plugged in. I take a picture and I take a look behind the dryer, and the washer is plugged in. Behind the washer, where the washer lines come in and where the drain pipe goes out, I take a look at that connection, and there was a problem there. Something was leaking. They had a problem in the past. It could have been the clothes washer supply lines, because they replaced them, obviously, with the stainless steel braided mesh water supply hoses, which is really good. I recommend those. But we've got dampness, so it's damp. So maybe it's the discharge pipe. Maybe there's a clog. I don't know. Not my problem to diagnose. It's just a visual inspection of the conditions, and there's mold. So now we have water. We have mold. It's been wet for a while, and that's a defect that needs to be attended to. The clothes washer is above a finished basement, and it doesn't have a drain pan. I like to see one there. So that's a defect. The living room and dining room and the other rooms on the first floor and some on the second floor were not finished, unfinished. So instead of trying to convey in words what unfinished work means in the interior, I took pictures and I sent those pictures to my client. Paint is still being done. I checked representative number of windows. I basically check all the windows I could reach, and check the receptacles. And then I go to the plumbing, which is the bathrooms. This is the first floor half bath. I take a picture of underneath sink components, the valves, the drain pipe, the cabinet shelf, the condition, the ground faults. I test the ground fault. There's the bath exhaust fan. It has lint all over it. It needs to be cleaned out. And there's the fireplace. Open it up. It's factory built. Take a look at the walls, left, right, back. Open up the damper hood, close it, open it. The handle is bent. I don't know why the handle was bent. Maybe there's a problem with the hood. Maybe something got deformed and it wouldn't open, so they forced it and bent the handle of the damper, but it's not supposed to be bent. Defect. I don't want anybody getting hurt on the fireplace especially. Just taking a look at the questions and comments. There is a spacing between the spindles of the handrails or guards that is too large for modern standards. When this house was built, it was built to code. It's probably 6 inches back then. Now it's 4. You can't get more than a 4-inch sphere. It shouldn't allow a 4-inch sphere to pass through. So that is a safety problem. Defect. Bent screen. That's a cosmetic problem. Bathrooms, second floor bathrooms. I don't know what's going on with this water valve. It's coming up through the floor, and the flexible pipe goes to the toilet, and then they had something branched off. Not sure what it was, what the idea was, but it's leaking into a coffee cup. So defect. Turn on the shower and the tub and check the hot and cold, and check the fixture that diverts the water from the tub spigot to the shower. And I fill up the tub a little bit just to see if it fills up and stays there, and then I drain it. And I take pictures of everything. And this is a little bit of drywall damage, very minor. They're patching it up right now, but I could tell that water runs horizontally along the along here, and then affects the drywall right next to it. I run fixtures at the same time to see the flow, the functional flow. Under sink components, the drain pipes, the fittings, anything, the gasket, the connections, the valves, the cabinet itself. I test the ground fault receptacles, test the fan, the master bathroom. This is a picture of basically the inspection restrictions that I experienced. Receptacles are ground faulted. Run water at fixtures, 2 fixtures simultaneously to see the functional flow. And then we've got a lot of problems with water in the shower. It's damaging both sides, and water is actually wrapping around the corner bead and damaging the wall. That's 2 planes of the wall. When I see something like that, that's water migration going through a couple corners and around corner beads, and there's probably some water damage behind there. I want to get that further evaluated. Then I'm in the attic. Took my ladder upstairs, poked through the attic space, and if I can walk safely, I will enter the attic space. I'll identify the type of insulation, cellulose, blown in, and estimate the approximate thickness of the insulation, and take a look at the structure from underneath the roof in the unfinished attic space to look for any kind of structural problems with the trusses or the structure, or roof leaks, really. That's what I'm shooting for. There's the ventilation. So I know I have soffits, I have a ridge vent, I have a gable vent. They use baffles, which is great. Clips on the sheathing. That's awesome. The vent pipes going up through the roof. We know the vent pipe flashing is a defect. It's leaking. Oops, there's a defect. It's hard to see if you weren't like right underneath it. It really is hard to see. And these are screws coming through the decking, causing the roof to leak, causing damage to the sheathing, the structure. And do you remember what this is from? This is from the roof. It's the satellite dish, right? From above, it's not a defect, right? But the way it was installed, they just put screws into the base of the satellite dish and screwed it in and didn't do anything to stop the water from penetrating. So when you see a satellite dish screwed right on the shingle roof, you are putting a hole through something that's supposed to be shedding water. So it better be done well, or not done at all, and put the dish on the side of the house or on a pole or something else. But that installation caused a roof leak. So that's a defect. Not sure what happened here. Maybe there was a roof leak and it damaged the drywall. So they had to replace the drywall. Just guessing on what happened, but the contractor didn't put the insulation back. So this is essentially about, 10 square feet, 8 square feet of a hole in the building envelope. The building envelope is the thermal building envelope, right? That's where the insulation is in the vapor barriers. So I bet their heating and cooling bills are excessively high. They essentially have a hole in their house through which energy bleeds. So their utility bills are probably higher than they need to be. And it's probably been that way for a very long time. Defect. Same thing with the attic access. If you think about it, if the attic access isn't sealed and insulated and airtight, well, it's essentially a hole in the thermal envelope, right? So I call that a defect. And it's an easy fix too. Poll number 4. We've got about 15 minutes left. I think we're going to be just right on time. Which of the following are you required to describe in your report according to the standards of practice? What do you think? The type of insulation observed, the approximate average depth of the insulation observed, the color of the insulation observed, the type of flooring in the attic, the slope of the roof structure as seen from the attic space. So you can select your answers there. You can select more than one. And so what are you supposed to, what are you required to describe in your report according to the standards of practice? Not inspect. What are you required to describe in your report? Okay, I give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Submit your answers. We're going to close the poll. And there we go. So the type of insulation observed, awesome. And the approximate average depth of the insulation observed, that's perfect. You are not required to describe the flooring that is used for storage, or the color of the insulation, or the slope of the roof. You're not required to describe those things. You're required to describe the type of insulation and the approximate average depth. That's awesome. All right. We have a few more pictures. I'm going to go faster if I haven't gone fast enough. Windows, representative number of windows, representative number of receptacles. Looking for fogged window panes, indications of fogged window panes. Windows that fall down. Smoke detector should be hardwired with a battery backup, and it should not be yellow. This was originally white. This is a 15-year-old smoke detector, and I believe smoke detectors are supposed to be replaced every 10 years or so. It's likely labeled as such on the smoke detector itself if you take a look at them, and so this is a defect. The heating and cooling system is a heat pump. The unit is downstairs in the basement. We haven't been down there. So I'm going to go a little bit fast here. That's the manufacturing date. That's the electric line for the electric heating system. I turned it on. The duct got warm. If you don't have an infrared or some type of instrument to measure the warmth, you can just use your hand. It's a great instrument. Everyone has one, hopefully. And so your suction line should be warm on the heating mode, cool on the cooling mode. The condensate drains into a pump. The discharge pipe gets clogged, and sometimes they cut them and replace them, so don't get confused. The condensate should be hardwired or plugged in to a dedicated outlet on the side of the unit. It should not be in tandem with something else like a dehumidifier, which is what's going on here, and the plug is actually falling out. So now you've got a dehumidifier running, draining on the floor, or not running, and the condensate pump unable to collect the condensate and discharge it out. So that's an easy problem to fix. No air filter, none at all. The fins of the evaporator coil are clogged dirty. It's running inefficiently. It's wasting a lot of energy. Indoor air quality problems, yada, yada. Defect. Hasn't been serviced and cleaned in years. Hot water tank, brand new hot water tank, electric hot water tank. Nothing wrong with the bottom. It's not leaking. It's 52 gallons. There's the serial number that shows me the date. It's wired in properly. There's a shut-off valve on the cold in. I like to see a valve on the hot out. It's on a timer. I don't like these all that well. They're trying to save energy. And the TPR valve should be extended to the floor. It is not. That's a defect. There's the main water supply line coming into the house. You need a wrench to shut off the water. That's not a good thing. Check to see if I use my hand, I run my hand under the meter to see if it's leaking. So one way to find a defect. Using your hand to find water problems is a very easy way. It's an awesome way to find problems. That's a pressure reducer, check valve combo, shutoff valve. That's the main water shutoff valve that I have to identify and describe in my report. Water meter remote to send a signal to the street, and the lines are copper. The drainways vent pipes are PVC. I take a look and I follow the water coming in, and I follow all the components of that system, and then I follow the drain going out, and I follow all the components that I can see on that system. That's one way to find a defect in the installation. However, the basement is basically all finished, so I have an inspection restriction. So I'm taking pictures like crazy to show that there is a lot of restriction. I can't see everything. I think the construction workers put a hole in the wall. It's not really finished. The basement stairs, the receptacles are not wired properly. They're not wired properly, so we have a wiring problem. That's a defect. I would love to see the floor structure, but I can't. There are ceiling tiles there, but I like to pull up the ceiling tiles, especially where the deck is attached to the house, or where I suspect there might be, based upon my experience, some water problems, or ledger board or rim joist problems. And that's a 3-tine hoe. That's a gardening tool. It has 3 tines, probes, fingers. And I move insulation, and I move it right back. And I also use the tines to hit on the joists to look for to hear the sound, and to hear the soundness of the floor joist and the wooden components. And it's easy to move insulation back and forth. Water. Indications of water at the finished wall in the corner of the basement. I have a moisture probe on an extension. It's an audible probe and a little light. So that's wet. Kind of pull back to trying to figure out what's going on. I find another problem next to the very large screen TV. That area is wet as well. Right there is wet. So I have a couple wet spots. Probing now all over the place. So as soon as I find one spot, I'm going all over. And I go right to the slider door, left and right, bottom left and right. But everything else is dry except for these 2 spots. So that's a defect. There's moisture coming into the house. Now on the outside, we had a problem with the grating in the front. Remember? That was a defect. Well, it's related to that. And it's this. So this is the front of the basement, front of the house. This is the corner where on the outside of the house, at the above the basement, there is a grating problem that does not allow for water to drain away on the surface, to drain away from the house. And there's water coming in to the basement. So it is a defect on the outside. And it's also causing structural defect. So this is the same wall. Right above is that area where there's a lot of flat surface. And this has caused, I believe, some structural problems. So the mortar joints have actually separated about 1 inch in this area. There's a lot of settlement. The structure, the concrete block has moved significantly. It's been patched up several times and it keeps cracking. And so we need some further evaluation. So I put that in my report, and there it is. It's being caused by that. So that's a defect. Kitchen. Under components, under sink components, garbage disposal, the water valves, the drains, the electric line to the garbage disposal is frayed. I think a mouse has been chewing on that, and that mouse, I don't know if it likes electricity or not, but that is the hotline right there. And so that's a defect. Ground fault receptacles, no kitchen counter ground fault receptacles, missing. This is how the house was built back then, but doesn't work now. You need ground faults on every kitchen counter receptacle. So that's a defect. Take a look at the cabinets here and there. No big deal. They're older. The kitchen exhaust should go outside. It recirculates. The filter is all greasy. The stove top, the range top, the elements heat up. The oven heats up, burns my hand every time. Lazy Susan spins around. A little bit of vinyl problem near the dishwasher. I take a look on the inside. I pull the drawers out. Take a look at the components, the seal. Then I run a cycle so it does at least one operation of a functional of one function. The kitchen window is actually sealed with silicone. That's a defect. Poll number 5, last poll, and we're almost done with the time that we have together. Do you provide a home energy report to your clients? And we're going to, if you'd like, you could stay. I'm going to stay a little bit longer and do a home energy report after this inspection. And it should only take me 4 minutes at most. So do you provide a home energy report to your clients? If you don't, if you're interested, I'm going to show you how to do one. We'll go through one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the poll. And many of you say no, or no, but you're interested. Okay, so let me show you how to do a home energy report after this inspection if you want to stick around. So here it is. So we're essentially done with the home inspection. We found a bunch of defects, and we could talk about that in a while. Let's see, do you include photos? Do you include photos in your report or send the client some or all the photos in your report? I include a lot of pictures in my reports. If you want a free sample, just email me and ask for a free sample of one of my reports. I can send it to you. And I would burn all of my photos and video. I actually did video of the report. It's especially the roof inspection, and I'd put that on a CD or USB and provide that to my client. I'd give them everything. Wasn't that an S-trap under the bathroom sink a defect? Yeah, if it is, then yes. Yep. Thanks, Ron. What about the S-trap? Everyone's picking out the S-trap. I should probably go back to my report, see if I put S-trap in there. How can you enforce 2013 codes when the house was built in the 50s and no remodeling has occurred, i.e. hardwire smokes, openings, and railings? So how can you enforce modern standards into a home that was built 20 years ago? Easily. Because as a home inspector, you are required to inspect certain things like missing smoke detectors. A house built 40 years ago probably didn't have any smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors. Now we require one everywhere, every bedroom, hallway, every floor. That's just an example. Back when, if you're inspecting a house that was built 30 years ago, it was probably built to some standard back then. But as standards change and codes change and things change and get better and better, it's typically because someone got hurt. Someone got hurt, and so they decided to do something about ground faults in the kitchen. It's not just 6 feet from the kitchen sink. It's now all counter receptacles, right? And that's probably because somebody got hurt. So if you're inspecting a house that was built to standards way back when, there are standards today that help protect people from getting hurt and help the building function better. So that would be my answer. And as a home inspector, you're not a code inspector, so you can go by the standards of practice for a home inspector and use that as your foundation. And you're essentially working not for the code enforcement, but you're working for your client, which sometimes requires you to think of like common sense stuff. Like, what if my child was living in this house? Would I want all of the bathroom receptacles to be GFCI protected? Yes, even though I bought a home that was built in 1880. Yep, I want ground faults. So apply modern codes to existing homes, or modern standards. We don't say codes. Let's see. How long do you take for the inspection? A couple hours. Are the energy reports available in Canada? No. The home energy report tool is for U.S. housing stock only. Will the energy report ever be available in Canada? It's up to the Canadian government to do that. The U.S. Department of Energy created the engine that is sitting in the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, and it's crunching data based upon all the zip codes and weather stations and cost estimates and data for the United States. There are safety upgrades. I report. I'm just going through. What kind of moisture meter are you using? You can use non-invasive, but I like 2 prongs because you can simply touch 2 prongs and not puncture a material and still get a reading. Remember, it's I don't do anything quantitative. It's all qualitative. So I look for anomalies. Any kind of device that I use, like my hand, or a moisture meter that tells me that there's an increased level of moisture. I don't put any number down. I don't, like an infrared camera, I don't put down the temperature that I'm measuring. It's all qualitative, not quantitative. Okay, there are more questions, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a home energy report for those who want to stick around. It looks like everyone's sticking around. We are not requiring code upgrades. We are recommending safety upgrades. Exactly. Very good. Thanks, Tom. Okay, let's go and do, for those who you want to stick around and see what a home energy report is, www.nachi.org/home-energy-report. Or, here's an easier way. You go to nachi.org and you go to members only login. So every member has an account. You go to log in to your account and you scroll down and you go to your energy tool. All members have a bunch of members only tools in their account. Let me see if I can bring this bigger. There we go. So in my account, I have a few things, and one of them is energy tool. So there it is. Click that from your account and cross my fingers I have a good wireless connection because it's going to crunch a lot of data. So let's do this real quick. 919-465. That's Pottstown, Pennsylvania. That's where I grew up. That's where I did my inspections. Sorry, I grew up in Pittsburgh. Generate a report for my clients. Yes. Start a report. Click that button. It sends that zip code to the Department of Energy's Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, and now it starts crunching. And it develops this checklist for you that has a bunch of defaults. For example, let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. There we go. For example, it will figure out the electric per kilowatt hour rate for you if you don't know. You don't have to look at a utility bill anymore to do a home energy inspection and produce a report. So I'm going to do this real quick, okay? And if you want me to go slower, I can do that for you, but not during the webinar because we have 300 people attending. Okay, so I type in property address, 123 Ben Street. It's not Allentown, it's Pottstown, Pennsylvania. It was built in 1970. It has a family of 5 moving in. These are the people that are moving in. These are my clients. I don't care about the seller or the homeowner. I care about the clients that are moving in. I have parents, 2 parents, and 3 children. I'm going to type that in according to their age. The energy prices are defaulted. The house faces south. There are 2 stories above ground, 8 feet ceilings, 2,235 square feet. unconditioned basement, unconditioned attic, approximate number of light bulbs in the home. There's about 120. Only a few of them, about 25% of them, are CFLs or LEDs. The insulation on the attic floor was about 4 to 6 inches. Oh no, sorry. In this house it was about 10 inches, but we did have a hole in the floor. R13 for the walls. R13, that's pretty good standard. R13, air tightness, it is not airtight. Skylights, no skylights. There's the window, estimated areas, and the type of window. So you can type that in. I'm just going to skim through and use the defaults. There was a clothes washer. It was not Energy Star. There was a clothes dryer. It's electric. One refrigerator is staying with the house. It is not Energy Star. There are no standalone freezers. The year of the hot water tank was 1997. It was electric. It was 52 gallons. Thermostat was standard. Central gas furnace. It was built in 1997. Cooling equipment, let's just use this. Central air, 1993. We did have a heat pump, I forgot. Duct location was in the conditioned basement. They are not insulated. They are not sealed. There's no boiler pipe, no house fan, no pool, no spa, no hot tub. Generate report. So you click that generate report button, and it generates a report. It takes about 15 seconds. You can do this with any device. If you're on an iPhone, you could be doing this at an inspection. If you have a signal with your mobile device, with your phone device, you can do a report on an iPhone, a Droid, an iPad, tablet, your desktop, your computer, any computer that you have with a connection to the internet. And then your report has been generated. So you click this button, view report, and get the link. So it's loading your energy report. It's crunching all that data and producing an energy report for you with a click of a button. In less than a few minutes, you have a really nice report for your client. And this gives your client a quick understanding of how much this house is going to cost them to operate when they move in. This type of information is not available to anyone except your clients if you provide it to them. So when you have something that no one else can get, that is something that you could probably make money off of because that is very valuable to the consumer, to your client. They want to know. Homeowners are increasingly concerned about home energy, and they want to know how much this home is going to cost to operate once they move in, how much it's going to heat, how much it's going to cost to heat, cool, and operate. So you can give that information to them. It has really nice videos in there. There you are promoted. There's your membership ID. Your contact information is there. Here's some breakdown. And then if you use these tabs up here, like if you click cooling, it goes cooling, and large appliances, it scrolls. The video is a little choppy on the webinar, but it's scrolling down, and there's another video. If you go to energy upgrades, it makes some recommendations on how to fix and upgrade things. As you know, as a home inspector, upgrades are not part of the negotiating table. So this is for the homeowner after they move in. And priority one recommendation is to replace all the traditional light bulbs with efficient ones. Second one is to upgrade the programmable thermostat from a standard to a programmable thermostat. And priority three, it keeps going on. And it says, if in the future you decide to replace your clothes washer, pick one with an Energy Star label, because remember, clothes washer was not an Energy Star. So it goes on and it makes a few more recommendations. But the beauty of it is it has information that your client can use in order to make a smart decision about what to do next. And there's also an energy book as well. So we have an energy book, How to Save Energy. And you click that and it goes to an e-book. And that can be done after a home inspection using the reporting software, which is free to members. and it only takes a few minutes to do so. You can also do a homeowner newsletter, nachi.org/homeowner newsletter, and it takes a few minutes. There is the 100-day coverage, 100daycoverage.com for unexpected events after your inspection. And there's the $10,000 honor guarantee backed by InterNACHI. It's at nachi.org/honor. And these are all the things you can provide to your client. It only takes a few minutes to provide it to them after the inspection. The home maintenance book, it costs a couple dollars per book, and it's at nachi.org/now. So these value-added extras really help you distinguish your services and provide a great home inspection service to your clients. That is the webinar. Thank you all. Most of you have stayed with me for over an hour now. So I will convert this webinar into a video, and I'll have the PowerPoint slides available as well in just a few days. So I'll email you where you can get that information. It'll be at this website, nachi.org/webinar. My name is Ben Gromicko. Thank you, and I'll see you next month for another inspection training webinar. Bye, everybody.